Oklahoma's own News on 6 starts now with breaking news.
And we start here at 4 o'clock with that breaking news happening right now in Osage County. Emergency crews in the Army Corps of Engineers, they are on the scene working to fix a breached dam on Lake Waxahoma. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brian Dorman.
I'm Ashley Isbicki. This after 5 inches of rain over the last 3 days there. Sky News 6 is above the scene. You can see that live look on the right side. Also, News on 6's Jordan Tidwell on the ground right now with the very latest. Jordan, you did talk to the mayor, right?
Brian, Ashley, I did just speak to Barnstable Mayor Johnny Kelly. He says right now there is no imminent danger of a full collapse of the dam. He says that water is leaking through the bottom of the dam and several crews are here working to stop that leak. He says if you do live along Bird Creek or Dog Thresher, that you do need to pay attention and be mindful of what is happening out here. He says if anything was to happen, like a full collapse, an alert would be sent to your phones. But right now, he says several crews are out here coming up with a plan to stop this breach and prevent a full collapse of the dam. He says they are prepared for the worst, but right now there is no imminent danger of that happening and no imminent danger of a full collapse. This is what we know right now after speaking to the mayor. We'll continue to keep you updated as we learn the latest. I'm live in Barnstable. Jordan Tidwell, Oklahoma's own News on 6.
Unfortunately, more light rain is going to be moving over the Barnstable area, so folks are going to be probably concerned with that. But looking forward into the forecast, additional rounds of rain and storms will be possible. So as we take a look here, that's One Oak Field, as you can see here. For tomorrow, we're going to continue with on and off rounds of rain. 30% chance in the morning, 70% chance then by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, dropping it down slowly but surely through the afternoon. So with more rain tonight, more rain tomorrow, we'll talk about how much we could potentially see when it's all said and done. But a lot of you have said, where is the rain? And a lot of us have picked it up today. So again, we're going to continue tomorrow with rounds of rain. I think our highest potential will probably be by late morning through early afternoon. A severe weather risk is low. Most of our concerns are going to be flooding issues. And so taking a look now at radar and what we have going on, again, there's some light rain up in Osage County where we have concerns around Barnstable and Lake Waxahoma. So light rain is filling in across Osage County down to the metro. Some heavier cells are on the southeast side of town near Porter, near Bixby, up towards Broken Arrow. So those are going to keep rain in the metro for the rest of this afternoon until about 7, 8 o'clock. Wide view here, more heavy rain coming up from Shakota, extending up towards the north side of Muskogee County, and then additional heavy cells up near Coffeyville and Edna in Lubbock County, Kansas. We'll talk more about the rain chances coming up.
Today, survivors and descendants of the victims from the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre testified before lawmakers on Capitol Hill. The House subcommittee will consider legal remedies for the damage done 100 years ago.
3 of the last known survivors of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre testified before a House subcommittee.
The night of the massacre, I was awakened by my family.
107-year-old Viola Fletcher, known as Mother Fletcher, was just 6 when a white mob destroyed Tulsa's prosperous Greenwood neighborhood and robbed her of her future.
I still see black men being shot, black bodies lying in the street. I have lived through the massacre every day. Our country may forget this history, but I cannot.
Her brother, 100-year-old Hugh Van Ellis, still has vivid memories of how the violence affected their family.
We live with it every day. We aren't just black and white pictures. We are flesh and blood.
And Leslie Benningfield Randall, now 106, says she was too young to truly comprehend what happened then.
My community was beautiful and was filled with happy and successful black people, but they came and they destroyed everything.
The House subcommittee will consider legal remedies to atone for the damage done 100 years ago when a white mob attacked the all-black community. More than 1,000 homes and businesses were looted and burned to the ground, including the Dreamland Theater, owned by my great-great-grandparents. Historians believe up to 300 people were killed.
By the grace of God, I am still here. I have survived to tell this story.
The 3 survivors are plaintiffs in a lawsuit against the city and county of Tulsa, seeking reparations for the massacre. They've waited 100 years for this moment. the chance to demand justice for their suffering. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
News on 6's Alex Cameron will have more on today's hearing from our exclusive Washington bureau coming up for you at 5 o'clock. And just hours ago, the Tulsa Race Massacre Centennial Commission announced voting rights advocate and New York Times bestselling author Stacey Abrams will serve as the keynote speaker for the Remember and Rise event, marking 100 years since the race massacre. The event is May 31st at One Oak Field. Tickets are free and will be available starting Friday.
New here at 4, a former Hartshorn city clerk is sentenced to 9 months in federal prison and ordered to pay more than $80,000 in restitution after an FBI investigation into misused public money. 47-year-old Meredith Dawn Duncan pleaded guilty to embezzling at least $10,000. In 2018, a state auditor's report revealed Duncan used the city's credit card to buy Thunder tickets, a cruise, and holiday decorations that she put up right in her front yard. This afternoon, we're learning the woman accused of killing a Wagner County woman and dumping her body in Arkansas is also being charged for attempted murder in Wisconsin. Corey Bomelli was arrested in January for the murder of her roommate, Talina Galloway, and was extradited back to Oklahoma from Wisconsin. News on 6's Reagan Ledbetter will have more on today's new developments coming up at 5. Looking for a crack in the case. It has been 37 years since a young woman was murdered, and a Green Country family is still desperate for answers. A suspect emerged, but the district attorney wouldn't file charges, saying DNA was just years away and would make the case. But that's never happened, and Lisa Moore's family is tired of not knowing why.
You start getting consumed, about it, and especially when I'm trying to work with the police and I'm not getting answers. I get frustrated.
Tonight at 9 and 10, News on 6's Lori Fulbright looks into who murdered Lisa Moore.
The final touches are being made on a mural at Tulsa International Airport. The mural is large, and it is the first impression that thousands of travelers will see as they come to Tulsa. News on 6's Mallory Thomas talked with a person behind the project today.
Alexander Taman is the Tulsa artist who's painting the mural. He says his favorite part is the tree here. Down below we've got the rivers, and then up top we're showing the clouds and the rolling plains in Oklahoma.
A lot of the golds and oranges and purples and stuff like that from just the Oklahoma skies that we're kind of known for.
Alexander Taman has spent about 40 hours at this wall with a paintbrush in his hand.
A lot of love went into it, a lot of passion for what I do. I'm a huge proponent for bringing public art everywhere, right? Because, it's art that nobody needs permission to access and engage with.
Taman grew up in Chicago, where public art is everywhere. He's lived in Tulsa for 10 years and has painted about a dozen murals in town. This one is 8 feet tall and 23 feet wide.
A lot of us haven't been able to travel as much and see our family and whatnot, and so there have been some really emotional and really touching moments as we've been painting away, and this being the backdrop is super humbling and just really awesome.
It's titled Oklahoma Welcomes You. It's the first thing travelers will see in Concourse B at the airport, and Taman says he's thankful for the opportunity to share his passion.
I know a lot of people will be here, especially for the centennial, and may not have time to really just appreciate the land itself. The land is actually really beautiful, and so this is just a really great opportunity to kind of emphasize that.
Taman says he'll get a little bit of a break after he finishes up this mural here at TIA, and then he'll start another one. That one's going to be for the PGA Tour. In Tulsa, Mallory Thomas, Oklahoma's own News on 6.
The University of Oklahoma will no longer require fully vaccinated people to wear masks on all 3 of its campuses. OU says exceptions include students and staff working in patient facilities, kids ages 2 to 11, and campus transit buses. Social distancing protocols are also no longer needed following the newest released CDC guidelines. We are just days away from Tulsa's Man Triathlon that is happening throughout the city, in fact in 3 counties. We'll show you how volunteers are preparing right now for more than 2,600 athletes set to compete this weekend.
And I'll let you know if the weather will cooperate this weekend for Ironman or for your weekend plans. We'll also talk about how long you may need the rain gear for today.
And we're continuing to follow breaking news for you this afternoon in Osage County. This is a live look from Sky News 6 above the scene of a breach in the Lake Waxahoma Dam. Osage Sky News 6 above the scene. Jordan Tidwell on the ground. Another live report coming up in minutes.
Yeah.
Can we get a mic check from you? Just talk.
Okay. Talk right now.
Yeah, I want to make
okay,
sure
keep
that
going.
the mic is on,
yeah.
correctly. Yep.
Okay.
All right, it is now time for Brian's current favorite part of the show. We are partnering with the 2021 KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship to send you and 3 friends to the tournament.
From right this minute till May 21st, we'll be giving you cues to text for your chance to win 4 tickets. Here is your cue to enter. Text Birdie. Careful how you spell it. B-I-R-D-I-E. Text Birdie to 79640. 15 people will be randomly selected to win 4 tickets to the tournament at Southern Hills from the 25th through the 30th. You can find a full list of rules at newson6.com/contests. We're continuing to recognize veterans across Green Country who are making a big difference in their community. And here at 4, we'd like to recognize Army veteran Bill Briner. Bill served in 2 tours in Vietnam, and he has been married for a whole long time, 47 years. Bill, we thank you so much, sir, for your service to our country. And if you know a veteran who we should recognize, would you please send us their story and picture to our website, newson6.com/somethinggood.
From the Bob Mills Weather Center, Oklahoma weather expert, Stacia Knight.
Well, this afternoon, the rain seems a little more widespread across eastern Oklahoma than it has been in the last several days. Some of you have mentioned that you haven't had any rain. Well, now you should be getting some, at least for today. It's still hit and miss in a few spots, but a lot of this now encompassing much of the metro with some of the heavier rain centered up right along 169 now, and those will track up to the northeast. So that will be in downtown here within about 15-20 minutes. We also have heavier rain back towards Porter on the east side of Porter. So that will then come up towards Coweta and Haskell. Right now, you guys have a break from the rain, but again, it'll fill back in, maybe even get a little heavier as those cells come through. Also another heavy cell near Shodo. So we'll continue with wet roads and rain in the forecast through about 7 to 8 o'clock here in the Tulsa metro. Additional rain down in southeastern Oklahoma, but a bit more spotty as you have a good break of rain right over Lake Eufaula, but additional showers back to the east near Stigler. And so our heaviest rains right now, again, pretty much from Wagner over towards Coweta, and then also some heavier cells in the metro with additional heavy cells up in Nowata and Veneta area. So just on the west side of Veneta, kind of right along that Nowata-Craig County line and up into Labette County, Kansas. Where we are concerned around the Barnstall area with what's happening at Lake Waxoma, there is some light rain that continues to fill in across eastern Osage County. Right now it looks like it's light, but this is a very tropical-like air mass, so it could be a very efficient rainmaker, and the totals just kind of go up from there. So we're going to expect some rain around Osage County here through this evening. Our evening planner in Tulsa, 60% chance still at 7 o'clock. Our highest chance now through about the 6 o'clock hour, then we'll start to trail it down as most of the rain will be off to the east and northeast of Tulsa by later this evening, 7 to 8. So by 8 p.m. we're down to 40%. By 9 p.m. we're down to 20%. And temperatures will stay around 71 now through 6 o'clock, and then we'll drop into the 60s around 8 o'clock this evening. 3-day rainfall totals. Notice that bullseye right over there in central Osage County. That's near Winona, just to the south of Winona, and also around the Barnsdall area where they have picked up over 5 inches of rain in the last 3 days. You've had Bartlesville picking up 2 inches, while the Tulsa metro is at about ½ an inch. Down in southeastern Oklahoma, Poteau is just shy of 2 inches. We will still continue our flood watch for far southeast Oklahoma, Pittsburgh, Latimer, LaFleur County. That goes until tomorrow morning. Right now in the metro, temperature is at 72. We're at 69 in Okmulgee, 69 in Eufaula. Temperature-wise, it's not bad, but it's very, very muggy. So for tonight on Future View, again, 8 o'clock, the rain should be winding down around Tulsa, but continuing up to the northeast and could be heavy at times. Then we'll look down to the south and maybe have a few isolated showers that try to redevelop later this evening. They shouldn't be too much for us. And then we're much quieter at 11 o'clock tonight through midnight until about 3 a.m. That's when other showers will start to fire up east of Highway 75, kind of fill in as we go through the morning hours tomorrow. You will need the rain gear tomorrow, especially for the first half of the day. Some heavier showers could try to bubble up by lunchtime south of Tulsa and then roll northward through the afternoon. So notice tomorrow, very hit and miss. Not everybody's dealing with rain. Some folks, though, have to deal with a heavier shower. So again, tomorrow's hit and miss. Just have the umbrella handy. As we go into our Friday, unfortunately, we do continue the on and off rain chances. There is an axis of moisture right up over eastern Oklahoma. Slow-moving storm systems, available energy. This is causing the rounds of rain and thunderstorms. But again, the good news is that severe thunderstorm risk is low, but flooding concerns remain high, especially with low-lying areas, flood-prone spots. I had a fisherman who loves to fish the Illinois call me earlier today and ask me about Illinois level near Tahlequah. And you know what? If we get a lot of water in the Illinois watershed, then there may be a problem. That's a very specific spot, and this is a lot of hit and miss rain through the weekend.
All right, Stacia, thank you. Well, last night I finished a James Patterson book, and today I started a new one. It is that time of year for some good summer reading. After the break, our crafty mom, Courtney Grider, is going to teach me how to make a really fun bookmark out of yarn and paper clips. What could possibly go wrong?
Oh, no.
Stay with us. Our crafty mom, Courtney Grider, is back in studio with us to show us how to make a really fun but difficult bookmark. Perfect for those of us who, want to pick up a good book this summer. We were walking through kind of what we're going to do. You say Harper can do this, your daughter.
She can do it. It's
Okay.
simple. We got this.
It sounded very complicated to me, but I'm all in.
All we need is yarn, scissors, and paper clips.
Okay.
So pretty simple. You're going to take and you're just going to cut a piece of string and lay it out.
Okay.
And then you're going to take a whole bunch of yarn.
All right.
And you're just going to take it and you're just going to wrap it around your hand.
Okay.
Many times, I usually like to do like 30 to 50 times. The more you do it, then the fuller your pom-poms are going to be.
We want the full effect.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and then just make sure not to do it too tight so that you can easily slide it off your hand.
Oh.
You don't want to lose circulation.
Okay.
So that's plenty.
Okay.
Once you're done, just give it a cut.
Okay.
And then you're going to slide it off and you're going to lay it right here.
Okay.
Do it, flip it this way like this.
All right.
And then you're going to take both ends and you're just going to tie a knot.
Okay.
There we go.
If kids are learning how to tie their shoes right
Super
now,
tight.
here's an opportunity.
There we go.
Uncle Brian will show you how to do it. Okay. Grab it through the hole. All right.
Perfect. We're going to pull them out. Let's pull it out though.
Oh, it wasn't supposed to be in the bow?
No.
Great.
But great bow.
Okay.
That was perfect. So then you're going to take and you're going to have these loops right here and you're just going to take your scissors and you're going to cut these loops.
Okay.
Straight through.
Cut all the way across?
All the way across.
All right.
There you go. And then you're going to cut the other side.
You're shaking. Am I
All
making
the
you
way.
nervous with these
No, I'm
these
great.
scissors?
Yeah, just watch my fingers.
I'd be shaking too. Okay.
There we go. And then you have your pom-pom and you're going to just go like that.
Did I do it?
You did it. So what you're going to do actually now is you're going to start cutting it. You're going to give it a haircut.
Oh, okay.
And that,
But this is an option, right? You could stop here?
I mean, if you want to, you can.
Okay.
And then you're just going to give it a haircut. And the more yarn you use, like I said, the fuller it's going to be.
Okay.
And then you're just going to keep going around and it will fluff up and then you'll flip and do the other end. And this is what eventually it will look like.
Okay. So that's, yeah.
Yep. And then you want to make sure that you leave the two tail pieces.
Yes.
Because this is what we're going to take. You're going to take your paper clip.
Okay. This is fun.
Perfect.
Okay.
Great.
I do not like a mess.
No. And then you're going to take your paper clip and you're going to slide it on. And you're going to make sure that you leave this edge open down here. So you're going to do it on this side up here.
Okay. Do both sides go in?
Yes.
Or just one?
Just
Okay.
one.
Oh, just
Sorry.
Okay.
Got it.
Got it.
And then you're just going to tie a knot at the top of your paper clip.
Okay.
Like that, and it's going to secure it in there, and you can do it once or twice.
Okay.
So it doesn't fall out.
Got it.
And then you're going to cut the tail ends off.
Oh. These come off now?
Yep, they come off. Ta-da! You can give that one a cut too. And there you go. Bookmark pom-poms. You can take you can fluff it up a little bit. But fluff it up.
Wait a minute. Hold on, we got to see the Courtney's version and mine. Are we able to see? This did not.
You just gotta fluff it up a little bit.
This is gonna take more than fluffing.
It looks great.
Man. Great to see you.
Good to see you
It's been a long
too.
time since
Thanks
you've been
for
in the
having
studio.
me.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Ash, what do you think?
Not so easy, is it? Usually I'm over there with Courtney making a fool of myself. No, you did pretty good, Brian. Pretty good. All right, guys, thank you. Well, we are just getting started here at 4. In our next 30 minutes of news, we will take you live to breaking news we are following right now as emergency crews work to repair a breach in the Lake Waxoma Dam. You're taking a live look right now about 4 miles east of Barnsdall. We'll tell you what this means for the area and nearby communities as all hands are on deck. A new bill signed into law is making roads safer for cyclists here in Oklahoma. What drivers need to know and the new protections included in House Bill 1770. Plus, it has just been a soaker of a day, right? Well, we are nowhere in the clear just yet. Stacia breaking down the timeline across the Osage Casino Skycam network.
Well, more than 2,600 athletes from 30 different countries are heading to Tulsa this weekend to take on the Ironman. We've got more on those preparations coming up next.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, testing.
Well, we continue to follow breaking news in Osage County here at 4:30, where emergency crews and the Army Corps of Engineers are working to fix a breached dam on Lake Waxahoma. We thank you for staying with us here this afternoon. I'm Brian Dorman.
I'm Ashley Isbicki. Of course, a big part of this story has been the rain that this area has had over the past 3 days, now totaling 5 inches. We are giving you a live look from above the scene from Sky News 6. And News on 6's Jordan Tidwell is on the ground. She's been covering this since we first found out. Jordan, what can you tell us?
Brian, Ashley, Barnstable Mayor Johnny Kelly says that crews right now are coming up with a plan to fix the breach in the dam. He says that the water is leaking through the bottom of the dam. Now, he says right now there is no imminent danger of a full collapse of the dam, but if you do live along Dog Thresher Creek or Bird Creek, you do need to pay attention to what is happening out here, but there is no imminent danger of a full collapse. Now, access is limited. They're cutting off access to the dam right now if you are not essential or a crew that is working on fixing the dam. But right now they're coming up with a plan, but no imminent danger of a full collapse. I'm live at Lake Waxahoma. Jordan Tidwell, Oklahoma's Own, News on 6.
From the Bob Mills Weather Center, Oklahoma weather expert, Stacia Knight.
Up around the Barnsdall area right now, light rain continues to fall. In fact, there's light rain falling pretty much on the eastern half of Osage County. Some heavier pockets are in North Tulsa County. Those will track up to the northeast and almost getting close to Avant, particularly maybe even tracking back towards Barnsdall. So there's some heavier pockets there near Owasso, and that will move up to the northwest, Now back to the south and east here, Coweta and Haskell, some heavy rain close by. Also additional heavier pockets up towards Craig County, the western side of Craig County. And then down to the south here, there's more pockets of breaks in the rain, so that's good for some folks. We've had quite a bit of rain across far southeastern Oklahoma over the last several days. Maybe you're trying to head to the ball fields tonight. Some games I think will be canceled just with ongoing rain and muddy fields. We're going to keep an 80% chance for rain in the Tulsa metro through 6 o'clock. Slowly drop it from there, and 40% by 8 p.m. with most of the heavy rain up to the northeast of Tulsa. We'll talk more about what to expect this weekend and next weekend, Memorial Day weekend. I'll have your outlook in a few minutes.
And speaking of this weekend, Stacia, we are now just 4 days away from the Man Triathlon. It has been 2 years in the making after last year's debut in Tulsa was canceled. Well, now roughly 2,600 athletes are getting ready to swim 2.4 miles in Keystone Lake, then bike 112 miles through 3 counties, then finish with a marathon. That is a lot. News on 6's Amy Kaufman is live with more on what it takes to get ready for this big race. Hey, Amy.
Hey, Ashley, definitely a challenging course for these athletes this weekend. And several volunteers have been out here today setting up Ironman Village at OSU Tulsa's campus. And I know it looks pretty calm right now and maybe a little wet, But Sunday is going to be a much different story out here.
I've been training about 2 years now for this.
Jana Rugg signed up for the Ironman race in Tulsa back when it was announced in 2019. Now, 2 years later, she's finally ready to hit the start line for her third and final race, this time in her hometown.
I guess there's good and bad. There's no mystery, but yet you also know how difficult it's going to be. Tulsa Ironman is one of the more difficult bike courses out there.
More than 2,600 athletes will start with a 2.4-mile swim in Keystone Lake. Then they'll hop on their bikes for a 112-mile ride through Creek, Osage, and Tulsa counties. Then they'll trade their bikes for running shoes and run a marathon on the Riverside trails.
The hills are going to offer a challenge, and I think that was a draw for a lot of the athletes. It's not typically what someone would think of Oklahoma, and I think that's a huge pull.
Ironman Regional Director Scott Langen says this is the first of 3 races scheduled in Tulsa until 2023. He says this year, though, will look a little different because of CDC protocols.
There's 6-foot spacing as they go into the water. We offer a rolling start format, so we'll go on a cadence of 4 athletes every 5 seconds.
And athletes like Jana are excited to showcase everything their hometown has to offer.
Being able to run through the gathering place and along Riverside, people from all over are going to experience how great Tulsa is.
Now athletes can start checking in here at Ironman Village tomorrow and Friday from 9 until 5, and the race starts at 6:30 on Sunday morning. Live in Tulsa, Amy Kaufman, Oklahoma's Own News on 6.
A bill signed into law by the governor is making things safer for bicyclists in Oklahoma. News on 6's Jonathan Cooper is live with reaction from some in the Tulsa cycling community. Jonathan?
Brian, House Bill 1770 gives cyclists more protections and leeway while riding in the state. Now, the governor signed the bill last week, which now allows something called Idaho stops in Oklahoma. An Idaho stop allows cyclists to treat stop signs as a yield sign when there is not an immediate hazard. Members of the cycling community say this makes it safer for both them and drivers, allowing them to not lose momentum through rolling stops, have better visibility, and keep traffic moving. The new law also makes it illegal to harass bicyclists, like excessive honking for no reason. Any motorist who throws something at a cyclist could face misdemeanor charges or a fine as well. Austin Boardman has been biking his entire life and races competitively. He says he's had things thrown at him before and hopes this new law keeps everyone safe.
I think the vast majority of cyclists out there are extremely responsible. They're trying to do the right thing, and I think motorists are also just trying to share the road, be friendly. This is just a little extra layer of accountability that helps to protect cyclists.
And this law goes into effect on November 1st. Reporting live in Tulsa, Jonathan Cooper, Oklahoma's Own News on 6.
Roads are wet in the Tulsa metro. Rain continues to fall, and it will over the next several hours. Here's the view from I-44 and Highway 75. Of course, construction zone, new lane configurations. Make sure you're paying close attention as you go through that construction zone and slowing down. There is a lot of slow traffic around the metro because of road conditions right now being wet. Slowdowns southbound 169 from I-44 to the BA. Slowdowns northbound 169 from 266 up to 76th Street North. For drive times here on the Broken Arrow Expressway, it's a 15-minute drive out to Lynn Lane, 24 minutes on the Turnpike to Claremore, and almost half an hour to get home from Owasso to Owasso with 244 and 169.
All right, I pulled a fast one on y'all and picked a sports subject for something to talk about. A Monday night baseball game between the Atlanta Braves and the New York Mets interrupted when a player was hit in the face with a fastball. We'll tell you all about it coming up and something to talk about.
I hope you have some hard words like I did yesterday in that soccer story.
That was impressive.
Well, have you ever left something behind in your Uber? I have. Twice. It's not fun. And a new report is showing the top items that riders forget. It's my pick today. Something to talk about is next. All right, we've all got something to talk about this afternoon. Stacia, what did you pick today?
Okay, so this one's a surprise to me too. We've all been very excited when we pull off a good prank. Well, Amber from Sacramento is celebrating after she pranked her local news station with a picture of Sebastian Stan dressed as his character Bucky Barnes from the Marvel movies. Amber submitted the picture of Sebastian for the station's Veterans Salute segment, and the station posted the video. Well, the station finally caught on days later, and here's how they responded.
I have never been so embarrassed in my whole life.
Yeah.
Because I showed one picture that I didn't recognize.
Yeah.
And apparently we were punked.
You were punked.
I was punked.
She was pumped. Well, Tina seemed to be a good sport about it. You gotta, I don't know. I would not have
We've all been
recognized
there.
that person. But
Yeah,
yes, we've
no.
all been there. I would not, I don't watch Marvel movies, I guess. So it would have happened to me too, I think.
We are not good at movies,
No,
the
we are
three of
not.
us. When people talk about movies, no, haven't seen that, don't know who that actor is.
Yeah,
We
that's
know music, but movies not our strong suit.
We're not the movie crew.
Yeah.
We know a little bit about sports, just enough to get by, and I do know that
I know a lot about sports.
Yeah, this one is very knowledgeable.
But you hang in there.
I mean, barely. All I know about baseball is that it can sometimes be a dangerous sport. New York Mets player Kevin Pillar was hit in the face with a baseball Monday night. The baseball was pitched by Atlanta Braves pitcher Jacob Webb. And I know, this one's painful. And that was a fast pitch at 94.5 miles an hour. Of course, he had a CT scan. He was diagnosed with multiple nasal fractures, and he says he's doing just fine, but now, of course, he's going to need plastic surgery to repair the damage that was done to his face, and he's going to be out for at least 10 days, if not 14.
Ugh.
That is
good
so
luck
hard to
him.
watch.
Oh, I hate these kind of videos.
Yeah, well, sorry.
It's okay. No.
But it's got people talking.
Yeah, it does. And it has us reacting. Okay, Uber. Have you guys ever left something in your Uber or Lyft ride?
Phone.
No, I
Just
always
me?
double check.
Phone.
Okay.
How many times have you
of
left
course.
Gray in the Uber?
Gray has never been in an Uber.
Oh.
They don't have car seats. Somebody should start that, just saying. Stacey, you've left the phone?
Yes,
Okay.
multiple times.
Same. So I'm not, thank goodness.
No, you're not alone.
I blame
You're
Mom
not
Brain, but I'm
alone.
not alone. Okay, well, Uber's Lost and Found Index for 2021 is out. The company breaking down findings by the most commonly forgotten items, the 10 most forgetful cities, and the most unique lost items, which is my favorite part of all this. We'll get there in a second. So here's the common things: phones, cameras, wallets, keys, backpacks, luggage, headphones, glasses. This is the kind of stuff you would think, because this is stuff you usually have on you or in your pockets. I think they probably found a lot of masks in 2020 as well. Now, as for the most forgetful cities, Austin, Texas.
Interesting.
And you've got Fort Myers, Nashville.
Kansas City?
I know.
Wow.
I don't know. Okay, but let's get to this because we are almost out of time. And this was really interesting. The unique items. A tooth?
What?
Somebody left a bunch of butt cakes. Forgot those when you got to the party.
Ew.
Probably not the biggest fan at the party.
Karen, where's those butt cakes?
A catheter, a prosthetic leg.
Catheter. You're just going to slide past that one like it was nothing? Wow.
There were some risque items on that list that did not make it to the show, so you might want to look that up.
How do you leave without your other leg and not notice?
I don't know. That's why they're
Drinking.
unique.
Yeah.
Too
maybe.
much. And
Alcohol.
that's why you needed the Uber.
You know, one of the times I did leave my phone was in Kansas City, so that makes
Okay.
sense.
You made the list. Are
On
you
the
the bunt
list.
cakes too? Can you claim
I'm not
those?
the bunt cakes, no.
That's
no.
a bummer.
I had to bribe an Uber guy $100 one time to give him my phone back, and I did. It was before they started the whole, now you can report something through
He
Uber.
took $100 from you?
Oh, yeah, he did.
Oh.
Here in Tulsa.
Oh.
Okay, Stacia, we're
That's
getting
something
yelled
to
at.
talk about.
Yeah, it is.
That's
But I paid up,
tomorrow's
didn't I?
story. Let's get to weather here real quick. Again, up at Barnsdall, Lake Waxoma, we're watching that situation very closely. Light rain continues to fall, and here in the metro, we do have some pockets of heavier rain, like I mentioned earlier. So rain gear is needed, especially right along Highway 75. 75 is kind of the corridor, the center part of that corridor, I should say. And so you have Again, scattered showers. Most of this is just rain activity, not too many lightning strikes, if any at all. So a lot of this is just tropical-like rain, heavy at times, and we're going to keep a high chance of rain in the forecast through this evening, trailing it down by about 7, 8 o'clock tonight. So for our timeline here, for tomorrow, starting off 70% chance of rain expanding again in the morning hours, maybe a few embedded thunderstorms. Most of our rain chances tomorrow will be mid to late morning. Then in the afternoon, it starts to become more scattered, more hit and miss. We'll have more folks that are hit in the morning and then more folks that miss in the afternoon. By tomorrow night, things quiet back down before ramping up again. 30% chance Friday morning, 20% chance in the afternoon. Yellow color signifies just the potential for some heavy storms, not expecting severe storms, but there could be some lightning around. So heads up. By Saturday, I wish we could take our rain chances down for Saturday, but we can't because that axis of moisture stays put right over eastern Oklahoma through Sunday. We're hoping that high pressure can kind of sneak in and maybe push it a little farther back to the west, but as of now, we're going to keep a chance for rain in the forecast through this weekend. All right, for tomorrow, or this is Friday, I should say. I'm a day ahead of myself, but Friday, highest potential for rain will be east of the Highway 75 corridor. 40% chance from Tahlequah to Muskogee down to Wilburton. 30% chance on Friday in the metro, lesser amounts out towards Pawnee and Stillwater. Friday's highest potential will be during the morning hours and then lightening up by lunchtime into the afternoon. Then for Thursday, so we're kind of backtracking here, but for tomorrow, we'll have our best chance of rain coming up tomorrow evening in far southeast Oklahoma. For the rest of us, the best chances will be during the morning. 60% chance here in Tulsa, lesser chances up to the north and northeast. On future view here as we go through tomorrow, again in the morning hours, we'll have some scattered showers around Tulsa. Back to the east and southeast, temperatures will be in the mid 60s. Then as we head into the afternoon hours, we'll have highs in the 70s. We'll continue our rain chances into Friday. It looks like rain is pretty much stuck over eastern Oklahoma through Friday. It's just where it's going to stay, I guess, for about 48 hours here on Future View. Now for Memorial Day weekend, this is what I promised we take a quick look at. There it looks like to be a storm system the first part of the weekend and maybe the last part of the weekend. So for next Friday, possible thunderstorms, better conditions Saturday and Sunday. But that's for next weekend, Memorial Day weekend. This weekend, wish we had high pressure around. We probably won't. Slight chance of a few showers and storms. That's a 7-Day Planner. News on 6. We'll be right back.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, Memorial Day weekend is almost here. Pools are starting to open, boaters hitting the water, and this Wellness Wednesday, you know, it's not too late to start getting into shape for the summer and staying fit all year long. Joining us today is certified trainer and nutritionist Michael Wittig. Michael, it is so good to have you back on the show. It's been a while.
It's been about a year. Let me just start by saying I'm not doing the Ironman.
That is probably one of the biggest questions you get, right? Are you doing the Ironman?
I've had a couple people ask.
It's intense. For people who don't know your background story, let's kind of start with just your background. And you have so many national accolades, including most recently last year, you won the Natural Pro Olympia in 2020.
Yeah, last year was a great year. Despite being diagnosed with melanoma earlier in the year and having surgery, I ended up winning 4 pro natural championships last year, including the Natural Olympia out in Vegas.
All right, talk about somebody who knows the key to success mentally and physically. All right, so let's start with nutrition, because that is, of course, where it all begins. Everyone wants to get to the gym and work out, but that does nothing if you're not eating the right foods and fueling your body. Michael, you know, I think it's overwhelming, especially for women, trying to keep up with all of, everyone says, do this, do that, try paleo, try this. Where do we even start?
Well, first of all, let's just say summer's coming up. Everyone wants to look their best. They still have time to drop 10, 15, even 20 pounds if we're talking later summer. 3 things that people need to do. Keep it simple. Nutrition, resistance training, and cardio. Nutrition is the most important and oftentimes the most difficult for people. So let's keep it simple. Just eat in a clean calorie deficit, bringing in less food than you consume. Okay? We're not looking to start a diet. Diets don't work. Find a way of eating that becomes a lifestyle for you, a balanced lifestyle. In general, hey, medium to high carbs, okay? No, carbs, medium to low carbs.
Sure.
Protein, medium to high. Fats, let's keep them low, let's keep them healthy. Hey, if you don't know how to manage that, use the MyFitnessPal app. MyFitnessPal makes it easy.
How do you recommend somebody getting a coach then to know exactly, you know, how to do those portions, how to downsize maybe from what you're eating, how much of a deficit to be in?
Absolutely. Hey, I don't know how to fix anything. When something breaks, I call the plumber, I call the repair guy, I take my car down. If you don't know how to fix your diet or fix your health, call a professional, a certified trainer that has a passion for fitness and the experience to back it up.
Let's talk about resistance training and strength training and how important that is. I think, you know, going back to women, there's a lot of misconceptions that if we lift, we're going to put on some weight, but there are so many pros to resistance and strength training for us.
Strength training is a missing element for a lot of people because they don't understand. Hey, you're not going to bulk up, especially the women. You're going to look like this. Hey, guys, building a little bit of muscle for shape in the right places makes your body more efficient at burning fat when you're not in the gym.
Exactly.
And you don't have to be crazy. Strength train 3 to 4 times a week, from 30 minutes to an hour, whatever you have. Something is more important than nothing, and you don't have to be perfect. You just need to work on being consistent.
Consistent, trying to hit all those key muscle groups. I could talk with you about this all day long.
All day
We're
long.
both passionate about fitness. Let's talk about cardio. I used to be the girl who would just try to outrun a bad diet. I was always trying to, you know, I worried about how many calories I was burning. I would run, and you just don't get the results sticking to cardio every day.
No, let's see. Cardio is good though for heart health,
Oh, yeah.
especially if you have heart issues or it's in your family history. So it's always good to move. Cardio doesn't always have to be running or biking. The benefit of cardio is you're going to burn some calories so you don't have to undereat. Because those 3 things, the eating, the resistance training, the cardio, they work together as a unit. And they're balanced. So cardio just helps you so you can eat a little bit more, but it doesn't always have to be running or biking. Just find something you enjoy and move. Cardio is just moving.
That's exactly right. It can even be just a fast walk with your kids or with the dogs. Maybe chase after them when they run away. It's happened to me plenty of times. All right, Michael Wittig, thank you so much for joining us. If you want to learn more information, check out Elite Training Tulsa. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Well, here's what's up tomorrow on our show at 4 o'clock. It's Thursday, which means it's Therapy Thursday. Our good friend Dr. Brenda Lloyd-Jones will be here to answer some of your questions.
Plus, we are talking with officials at Southern Hills Country Club about all the preps underway right now ahead of the Senior PGA Championship next week.
And it is a rainy drive for you. Roads are wet. Rain's a little heavier on the east side of town. Take a look. Broken Arrow Expressway 169 view does not look fun. Make sure those headlights are on. If your headlights are on, your windshield wipers are on, and seatbelts need to be buckled. Make sure you're slowing down as well. 31 minutes up to Owasso, 25 minutes to Claremore, BA, 18 minutes out to Lynn Lane, and Tulsa Hills drivers, 9 minutes from downtown. Again, roads are wet. Allow yourself extra time to get where you need to go and put more distance between you and other drivers than you typically would.
Yeah, not a good day to be out. If you can, just stay home. Make a book. What are those things called? Book?
A bookmark?
A book, yeah, make a book.
Pom-pom
Or
bookmark?
a bun cake.
Hey, don't do that.
That went full circle. That's our time.